video, I wanted to teach you a little bit about brows. I wanted to teach you personally how I shape and fill in my own personal brows, where I get them waxed and done, and talk to you a little bit about different ways to fill them in, where your arch should be, how to line them up, and all that kind of stuff. I have gotten a lot of questions over the years about my eyebrows. They're honestly very thin right now. I would prefer them to be a little bit thicker, but that is why I use powders and pens to make them look a little bit fuller and to really have the shape that I like, because let's be honest, nobody's eyebrows are perfect. But without any more talking, I will show you my eyebrow routine and what I personally like to do. So first off, where do I get my eyebrows waxed and how can you do brows and stuff like that? Everyone has a very specific shape. You generally want to line your eyebrows up from the outside of your nose, from the iris is where your arch should be, and the very end of your eyes is where your eyebrows should end. For me, it's like a constant struggle because I'm always getting my eyebrows messed up by somebody. I always get waxed. You can also get tweezed, or you can get threaded or plucked. For me, I get waxed and then I kind of touch up in the middle and just tweeze whatever's kind of hanging out before I get waxed again. I used to get waxed in the European waxing salon. I don't do that anymore. I usually go to the Benefit brow bars, but honestly, I like my eyebrows very particular and people are always messing them up. So right now they're very thin. I will show you how I thicken them up and what I do. I like my eyebrows with a very big arch, very long tail, and I like them to be parallel but, you know, angled up here. For about 6 months, someone ruined them and one was like this and the other was like straight, and I was like, are you kidding me right now? Which is super frustrating, but just go to the counter and ask whoever has the most experience. And before they even touch your face, explain this is how you want them, even bring in photos, because honestly, they're humans, they make mistakes, they think that something will look better on you from their opinion than what you will think. So don't just trust blindly. But you can get your eyebrows plucked or tweezed all sorts of ways, and again, once you get them professionally done, you can always tweeze to kind of just kind of maintain the shape so you don't have to keep on paying money every couple of weeks or so. So next, there are very different ways to fill in your eyebrows. I'm going to talk about the ones that I use, but there are things such as eyebrow pencils, which are little pencils that you can actually use to color in your eyebrows. There are powders that you can apply with an angled brush, which is a great way to get a very natural look because you can kind of sweep it out and kind of erase any mistakes that you make. There are also actual pens. This is one from Sephora, and as you can see, it's actually like a liquid Sharpie. It's like a Sharpie, and you can actually color this in. Now, the thicker of a pencil or a pen you do your eyebrows with, generally the more they will be seen or noticed. The most natural thing to do is probably using a powder that you can really kind of dust out with, that has some sort of pencil or brush at the end. I use this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am in Brow Wiz Medium Ash. And it comes with a little thing on the end. It's a very, very thin pen, so it does look natural for me. So the way that I personally start off is that I know where my brows should start and end and where I like them to do that. And I start by kind of like combing them into shape. Now you can use any kind of comb. This is the end of an Urban Decay pencil. I always comb my brows up. Some people like to comb straight if they want more of a flat brow. I like mine super archy and super big. And again, they're so like thin, it makes me want to cry. You should also identify if your brows are even or not. Currently mine are uneven. What would make mine more even is having a little bit more of an arch kind of at the top here. This one is pretty good as far as arch is concerned. I just want to thicken it up a little bit. So once you kind of identify that, you can go in with your pencil or with your powder. And of course I'm going to start with pencil first. I'm going to start here right on the bottom. So if you can see, I'm kind of reaching my brows up, I'm lining the bottom and kind of creating a line kind of to fill in. So I'm basically drawing an outline on my brows so that I can fill it in properly. And I'm using just very small strokes, almost like I'm drawing individual hairs, because it is such a fine little pen. It allows us to do that. And this is kind of like a cream pencil, so it's not like an actual Sharpie like the one I showed you from Sephora. And once I get to this area that I know is a little bit thin, I'm coloring outside of my natural brow. I'm kind of creating a peak and a point and then bringing it back down to where it's naturally growing currently. And also when you're drawing the tail of your brow, a lot of people like to curve it. Naturally these don't, after the arch, they don't really curve in. So once you hit the arch, it's usually best and most natural just to draw straight down. So that is what I am doing here. And again, a great thing about powders or about this pencil is that you can use this to take away any excess. Just the oil on your fingers is perfect. So I'm kind of combing that up. Now I'll go to the other side. Now to make these a little bit more natural, I am going to take the brush on the back of this. Again, this is just from Anastasia. You can use any brush you like. And I'm just going to wiggle these in. Now, again, because this is not like a pen, it's very, very easy to kind of move the color around so that any of these lines that we drew are going to be faded out and look very, very natural. If you're looking for a harsher brow or one that's not so natural, then just go ahead and skip this step. And then I'm going to fill mine in. Now I don't use this to fill in because A, it's expensive and it is a little bit harder to actually see what you're doing. So what I like to do is just take a very fine angled brush and a powder that matches me naturally. Naturally, the powder that's best for me is this one from Benefit. This is called Moody. It also depends on what color your hair is. Just use one that matches you. I'm just using this on a MAC 266 and I'm going to be using this pretty much the same way I used the pencil. Just kind of applying, only you can kind of do longer streaks. And this also sets anything that you put liquid on first. So I'm just going to kind of comb this up and place it on my brow, just where it naturally grows. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to apply a little bit underneath a little bit of a highlighter just underneath to A, give my eyes a pop, and B, to make them very, very just kind of shapely and enhanced. So I'm using the Eyebrow. You can use a light colored pencil. You can use anything. Another trick is that if you do have little hairs that are growing in, use kind of a shimmery highlighter. So a shimmery white, a shimmery yellow, or a shimmery pink. The shimmer will naturally hide a little bit of those hairs. But I'm using the Benefit Eyebrow, and I'm just going to start by applying this right to kind of the peak of my arch. That is definitely where I want this to be lightest. Once I've done that, I can kind of take this on its side and lightly apply this just kind of in a downward motion, and then follow the line naturally just to give my bottom brow some really nice highlight and shape. Once that's been done, I honestly just like to take a clean finger, like my ring finger, and start blending this out. I normally start blending in the place where I want it less transparent, so I normally start at the inner corner and then do the outer corner and then do the arch of my brow. So I'm just kind of pulling downward. You always want to pull down and out to kind of follow the natural contours of your face. And again, if you have a highlighter on your cheeks, this can kind of connect and just give you kind of that flawless look. So then I'm pushing up here where the highlight is, just right here on the arch, just to kind of blend that in and make it look natural. Once you've got that applied, again, you want to make sure it's even and you've kind of blended it into your crease. And again, I would do this before applying a primer or before applying any eyeshadow. Have that natural and blended out nicely, you can set your brows. This is called Brow Shaper Clear from Chanel. Honestly, there's a Maybelline mascara that is in clear. It's like $4. It is the best. It's a clear mascara that's used to hold your lashes into place, but it also holds your brows into shape, and it's absolutely the best as far as drugstore is concerned. So I'm not taking this on super heavy. I'm using this just the way I would a brush, and I'm combing upwards. Once I have this applied, I'm going to work a little bit quickly before this set. You just want to use something to push your brows into shape on the top since the hairs are sticking up. This is again from Maybelline. It's a little brow thing, just a little comb. You can use, you know those things, the eyelash combs that you use to like even out your eyelashes if your mascara is clumpy, you can use that. You can use the back of a brush. You can use tweezers, like you can use anything. But the point here is just to push down any hairs that are sticking up farther than the rest so that they both look even. And I mainly push mine down here at the corners. I kind of like a little bit more tuft up here. And I always leave the brow, the arch alone. I want that to be the highest part personally, so I don't even touch anything above the arch. I just kind of go here in the very beginning and then here at the very ends. And you can totally move on to the rest of your makeup and just finish up your face. Now that I've kind of done the rest of my makeup and my hair, my look is complete. And this is basically how I do my eyebrows. There are days where I won't even put on like makeup. I'll just put on mascara, eyebrows, and lip gloss and go out the door. And there are other days when I'll get dolled up. But either way, eyebrows frame your face, and that is how I do them. So if you have any other eyebrow questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. If you have any other videos you guys want to see, just feel free to let me know. So I love you guys. I hope that you found this helpful, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow in the next video. Love you guys. Bye. But with that talking, I will get into